Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Surprise show. Hopefully, you saw last night's stream and you knew it was up. Oh, yes.
I
Hello,
forgot to
Lady Shasha.
I forgot to unmute myself
I'm
again.
the second time in a row.
Okay, so to get started,
Ugh,
something funny happened last night.
what?
Um, Drissa ordered. She tried to Uber Eats a Whopper because it was buy one get one free.
Yeah.
So she ordered that, and we heard the Amazon dot chime said motion detected at the front door. By the time the Uber person dropped the uh, burgers off in the front and she got to the door,
Mm-hmm.
she she went outside. I just heard her say, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
What happened?
There was a possum sitting on a chair in the front eating a burger.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Holy
It ran up and
man.
snatched a burger that fast.
That's crazy.
And then
What yeah.
come to find out when I went on Google, there's
Yeah.
not only is there like images, people have like put images of um possums with burgers.
Yeah.
Amazon sells a T-shirt. Let me see
Really?
if I can bring up the picture of it.
You
Oh
know,
no, not burgers made out of possum. Possum eating
no,
burgers. Oops. I just
you
discovered there's
know
a thing.
You know what? Nah, yeah, don't even, because I know I've done that before where I look for something and something else pops up. But I was
Yeah,
gonna say, why doesn't your sister just go on the Ring camera to that
she
specific
did.
time
She
and
she went she went on a Ring camera and she could see the person walking up with
uh-huh.
the burger, but then you can't see the possum's too low underneath the camera for you to see the possum
Oh,
stealing the burger.
little bastard. And they're blind.
Yeah, well, they can smell burgers.
I guess so. I wonder if that was the mean bastard your neighbor told me about, the one that threw the beer can that it flew
Oh
over the
yeah, he
fence.
threw the beer can at the possum. See, look at this.
Yeah.
These are. It must be a common thing for them to be pictured with burgers. And then this is the T-shirt on Amazon that has a possum eating a burger.
That's, you know what, that's crazy, and it's funny that you've seen these possums.
Yeah, I've seen one in our garage before.
I don't. I
Well,
have never seen a live one. I've always seen them dead
oh wow,
on the
that's
side of the road. You
unfortunate.
know.
Well, if you see a possum in the garage, they startle easy. If you just make a loud noise, clap your hands, and yell, they run away.
But
They're not unless they have rabies.
I could tell you. I could tell. I could tell you an animal
Mm-hmm.
before we start this podcast the right way. I could tell you an animal that you probably haven't seen out here, and
What?
an act that you haven't seen out here. Have you ever seen a live armadillo?
Yeah, I've seen armadillo walking down the side of the road. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So you have seen them. Have you ever
yeah.
seen? Okay, here's another one. At 6 in the morning. Have you ever seen squirrels have sex?
No,
I
thankfully.
have. I have. I was riding the
Um,
bike to work, and one mounted the other one, and it did it real quick, and then it boop, went up the tree, and I was like, so they
well, I
do it
imagine
fast.
if they do things to each other as quickly as they eat food. I mean, but you were telling me about something that happened at Gator World. What happened?
I
Not
said
Gator World. It was
Gatorland, the golf
was it Gator
thing, the golf thing,
or
and
was it Congo River Golf?
it might have been Congo, one of those places.
Because Congo River Golf has the little baby alligators there
Yeah,
here in Orlando.
I was telling you that Florida man struck again and got caught with a little rope fishing a gator out of the Congo River Gulf,
Hmm.
and he kept it. They
And
have him on camera.
for those listening, Congo River Golf is a mini golf place that is set up to look like a jungle safari type theme. And in the front of it, there's like a little moat that has baby alligators that people can feed with it's like a little fishing pole type setup with hot dogs. Like you can lower hot dogs down to the baby alligators. apparently someone stole one of the baby alligators. It's wild. But let's get started on this Fear Street.
Go for it. Go for it.
All right. So it comes from a book series, and I had to look into this because I have not read this series. When I was a kid, I mean, I started reading Dean Koontz and Stephen King in fifth grade. So I skipped the R.L. Stine phase. And I think these books are targeted towards children, maybe 10 to 14 years old. They seem like they're very, very young. Um, and what I found out is from the series, according to Google, the Sarah Fear arc is drawn from the Fear Street Cheerleaders book. The camp in part 2 of the trilogy is the same as the one in the Lights Out book.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Fear's original backstory is found also in these two books, Fear Street: The Wrong Number and Fear Street: Awakening Evil. These three books form the Fear Street saga and are the source of the overall story arc of the trilogy. Fear Street: The Betrayal, Fear Street: The Secret, and Fear Street: The Burning. And the newest installment that just came out, Fear Street: Prom Queen, it's directly based on the book of the same name, 1992's The Prom Queen. I wish they would have recreated her dress, because the dress on the cover of the book is way better than the dress that our main character wore in the movie.
I believe R.L. Stine came out like in the 89, 90 time.
I feel like it was earlier than that. I think R.L. Stine might have books.
You can look it up, but I know that I must have been a junior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And we never read those because, you know, every time I saw R.L. Stine, I thought it was like for little kids.
Yeah, same. I never looked into it because it just, the book covers look like Babysitter's Club's book covers.
Right.
So that didn't really appeal to me. So maybe if the book covers weren't so, I don't know. I mean, there's teenagers on the book, so I guess it's supposed to appeal to teenagers. But for some reason, teenagers, I was a teenager more in the 90s and the 80s, but still, they just didn't appeal to me in that way.
Yeah, it didn't, man.
I was still interested in this movie series because the trailers looked interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen any of these, and you put me onto them and told me to watch. I was watching them, but I can say that I really went in there with an
open mind.
No, no. With what was his name? That stupid movie we watched with the evil ass fucking Chuck E. Cheese people.
You know Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes, I was going into Fears because Five Nights at Freddy's is also from a kid's book, and I thought it was.
I thought that was from a video game.
I believe I remember there were students. There was a book. I know that I believe there was a book.
Oh, okay.
But it was, to me, it was little. I thought this Fear Street was going to be all little kiddie. Like I was like, you know, much to my chagrin or pleasure, it wasn't. But God, I'm sorry. Continue on.
Hey, JJ is here. Hey.
Hello, JJ.
So let's get into the series. I have prepared one big kind of thing, but I'm going to today is going to be a little bit different. I know I sent you the run of show. I made a little bit of a change to the run of show. I think it was based on a suggestion that I think you gave me.
By the way, it's just called a showrunner, not run of show.
Oh, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Just like what are those fish sticks called? Chester Gordons.
Oh, Chester Gordon.
It's not Chester Gordons. Trust the Gordons, fishermen. Trust.
Oh, I always said it was Chester. I always thought they were saying Chester Gordon's fishermen.
No, it's Trust the Gordons fishermen. TRUST. Okay. Not Chester Gordon. All right. Sorry.
All right. So here's a refresher for people who may not remember the first Fear Street movie. It was available originally. Well, it's still on Netflix. I think it's only available on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But here's the trailer for the first Fear Street.
Dude, what the hell?
This is exactly why you have no friends.
Look, some guy killed a bunch of people at the mall last night.
Holy shit. Another shady side tragedy. Fits the narrative, right? Sarah Fier's back. Christ, not you too. There's no angry dead witch. The only thing that made him go crazy.
Funny thing about this actress, let me see if I can get her on screen.
Is this town.
Yeah.
The dude was wearing a Halloween skull mask. How is that not?
Something else. Let me get her back on the screen.
Somebody was well versed in Scream, by the way.
Oh yeah. You can see a lot of the homages. This actress right here,
Yeah.
she's 31 years old.
Yeah,
I
I know.
wanted everybody to know that. Like
The lead actress? The lead actress? Yeah, I know. I looked her up.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. And then, yep, she's 31.
31 years old playing a teenager.
Sarah Fier's back. Christ, not you too. There's no angry dead witch. The only thing that made him go crazy is this
What
town.
did you think of the how it? Well, no, I'll wait till after the trailer.
Well,
did you notice
can we
something
talk over the credit?
Yeah.
Guys, I think there's someone in the woods.
It's actually preferable as far as the copyright stuff goes.
Well, if I tell you to pause it, you know why.
And they're trying to kill us. Maybe we are.
I like the lighting in this movie a lot. It's very much giving John Carpenter meets Dario Argento, and I like that.
She was so sexy, but so crazy.
Yeah, he was like comedy. Whatever.
I felt like that was an homage to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that firebomb thing.
It probably was.
Stop it.
He was my favorite. Yeah. All right. Netflix. Intro.
Into that just yet. This is the part where I'll let you speak first, and then I'll tell you what's up next. I was going to ask you how you felt about its portrayal of 1994, since both of us are old enough to remember 1994.
The music was okay. That's what I liked.
I thought the clothing was pretty. I would say pretty accurate. Yeah, the clothing, the hair seemed pretty accurate.
Really? Because I'm like, maybe I'm blocked out the 90s too, because I looked at or I just didn't dress like that.
Well, by that time you were already at a high school, so you wouldn't still dress like the kids in high school dress. So. What
do you mean? I was like 19 or 20. I don't think I want to dress like a teenager that's 18.
No.
They're 2 years younger than me.
Still.
And
there's
by
a
that
difference
time,
between the way a 19-year-old dress and the way a 14-year-old dress. At least back then, there was a difference.
By that time, everybody was wearing baggy jeans, Timberland boots, Timberland boots in the summer with shorts. Yeah. Those are so. I didn't see anybody
or Doc Martens. Some of us.
No, that was your neck of the woods. That was Sunny. That was Sunnyville. I'm Sunnydale.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like I just me and my friends didn't dress. I couldn't get with the fashion. I never really can, except for like 70s, because I know a lot of 70s music. But as far as like the fashion. Plus, I grew up in the 70s. I was wearing bell bottoms and stuff as a child. But the style now in this 1994, I wasn't really paying attention to it. How about that? Probably the best thing to say.
I wore bell bottoms to preschool. I remember. It was 1979, and I remember they were my favorite pair of pants. They were pink bell bottoms, and they had patch pockets on the front, and on the patch pockets were yellow ducks.
Did you have velour bell bottoms?
I didn't have
a blue velour overall bell bottom suit.
No, I didn't have. I don't recall having anything velour. I know my older brother has a school picture with a velour shirt on, and my cousin John has a school picture with a velour shirt on, because I think
velour was the thing,
law.
man.
It was the law, so you had to have a velour shirt.
If you wore your velour shirt with your wool sweater, you could be any cold. You could be any cold.
Oh yeah, in the dead of winter. By the way, these movies are supposed to take. In my opinion, I think these movies are supposed to take place in New England. specifically because of the third part, 1666.
Yeah.
Like that's clearly like
Salem.
based on some New England
That's
type
Salem.
stuff.
Yeah, like Salem.
Like Salem, Mass. Yep. Okay, now I think you gave me this idea where you told me I should react to my own review.
Yes, you should.
So that's what I'm going to do right now because I already reviewed Fear Street 1994, and so I'm going to react to my original review.
How about we're going to react to it?
Yes, we are going to react to it, and we're going to see if I still feel the same way about the movie as I felt at the time of the recording. Check out my old intro, which by the way, the trees are an homage to Tales from the Dark Side,
and that's an homage to Poltergeist. Music by
Hey Latchkey kids and driving mutants. Let's go back, way back in the time. I had to put on my best 1990s outfit to talk about Fear Street 1994.
Pause.
This is going to be an interesting review because
Pause. That's not a 90s outfit.
Yes, it is a 90s outfit. Yes, it is. 1991. Wait, maybe not 94. Maybe 92.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, I graduated high school in 1993. This is what I wore. That's what I wore.
Yeah. I mean, you look like you belong in like the movies like that, like Some Kind of Wonderful, Pretty in Pink.
That's 80s. No, that's not what I was going
I thought
for.
you were. I honestly thought you were.
I was going for Downtown Julie Brown.
Yes, I figured.
The Club MTV.
Yes.
Wubba wubba wubba. God bless.
And good night.
And good night. Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. Keep going. Continue.
Have conscious memory of the 90s. So much so, I was in high school in the 90s. Speaking of 90s, let's talk about the thing that stands out the most in this movie, and that is the soundtrack. It was actually a pretty good soundtrack. I just wish they played more than 15 seconds of a song. It's like they were trying to squeeze so many songs in that they cut them off way too early. Also, some of the songs weren't even from 1994. Like, immediately when I heard Firestarter from Prodigy, I was like, that wasn't even out yet. That didn't come out till 96.
You should pause.
I'm just going to jump around a little bit. I thought the fight at the... Say again?
You have to like pause it and comment, like let a part go, then pause it and then say, I still agree with that. Instead of talking, instead of agreeing with
myself. Oh, okay.
You're like, I agree with myself.
Yes,
No,
I still agree with myself. The music drops were too short.
The
vigil was very realistic. There were free-for-all fights like that in the 90s. A lot, especially in my high school. It starts with one person hitting another person, then you hear, oh, get off my cousin. And you hear, get off my cousin. And then next thing you know, it's like 16 people fighting. Also, the bus scene.
Wait,
did that happen
what?
In your high school? About free-for-all fights where it would start with two people and it just end up being like
a bunch of times.
Yes.
Like a lot. Like it was always one project was beefing with the same project but on a different side of the project, or one project across town was beefing with the same project that's closest to the school. All the time. And then my favorite was I had a crush on a girl. She unfortunately passed away, but I remember I was walking with her because it was right after lunch, so I was carrying her book bag like a tool, and she told me,
that would be like a gentleman, not like a tool.
She didn't. She knew I liked her, but she just used me. Anyways, so I remember we're walking, and she goes, "Hold on, stop!" And she reaches in her book bag, and she starts taking Vaseline and like globs of Vaseline, smearing it all over her face. And I said, "What are you about to do?" And she said, "Poop!" She threw the Vaseline in the bag, and there was this bigger Spanish chick that kind of looked like Frankenstein, like with a big head.
Oh my gosh.
She went up behind her and hit her in the back of the head, and the girl fell forward.
And
when the girl fell forward, they just started going at it. I mean, and then I went to her sweet 16 party, and she told me what happened. She told me that the girl was talking junk about her to another boy that she liked. The girl I was holding her bag, and she had to get her ass whooped. So yes, I've seen fights all the time in my school.
Well, that's the way it was in the 90s. I mean, where I lived, we didn't really have projects. We had cornfields. but we still had like neighborhoods where like some people, I we didn't really have beef between neighborhoods that I can think of.
Beef.
Because if I remember neighborhoods, there's like Woody Crest and Shady Crest, and then I know that sounds
Shadyville.
sounds so suburban. There, Nawbuck, that was the area in Nawbuck, Forest Road.
Yeah, you're more like this town.
Yeah, it's like this town. We had more. There was more rivalry between other towns. Like for some reason, I remember when I arrived in high school freshman year, I was told our rivals are Rockville. I have no idea why. To this day, I don't know why our rivals are Rockville. And then by senior year, Glastonbury had been added to it. So Glastonbury and Rockville were East Hartford's rivals. If anyone's listening from that area, are they still rivals? And also, why? I've never been. No one has ever told me why.
Football. Because you're in the
it's just
same.
football?
Yeah, you're in the same conference.
Oh,
My school, we had a rivalry with the same two other inner city schools that we didn't even play. We played them twice. One team each time, and it was always Harvard Public, and it was also always Weaver. So anybody that's listening knows what school I went to. But anyways,
okay. So that makes sense because where I was, we only had one high school, so we couldn't have like beef with another high school in town because we were the only high school in town.
yeah. No, it was just ours was within the city limits. Like you had one in Blue Hills Avenue, then you had the other one in North End, and then you had the one in the South End. And whenever they got together at the Dillon Field, there was always like the turkey game was like everybody went to the turkey game, even though it was always Weaver and Harvard Public, but you didn't have to go to the game. Everybody was there, like people from the projects that I lived near. My friends from the other projects, everybody was there just chilling. It was cookouts. It was great. They don't do that anymore, by the way. No more turkey game. I don't think they do the turkey game anymore. And it was everybody called it the turkey game. You knew what, like when you go to the turkey game. Yep, it's the Thanksgiving Day game.
All right, let's get back into it.
Yes.
I saw a lot of comments on Twitter from younger people about opening the back of the bus. And apparently, I guess in newer buses, there's alarms. But back then, at least late 80s, early 90s, I never heard any alarms on the bus. They used to open the back of the bus all the time. I hesitate to tell this story because I don't want to give the babies any ideas. Yeah. Wait for it. I don't know. You have to tell me if they did this at your school. Probably not. But back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was very frequently that the back door of the bus was open. At least in the small town where I came from, kids used to jump out of the back of the bus just for fun. Like it would get to the bus stop and they just thought it was funny. Instead of going to the front door, to just open the back door and jump out the back. The worst I ever saw is when they were doing fireballs out of the back of the bus with a lighter and hairspray. Now that was crazy.
Now that's your
so not
school.
snitching to the cops was just how it was. I counted so many homages to older horror movies.
You got to pause it. Remember?
Yeah.
But no, I jumped out of the back of the bus.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you seem like you would do something like that.
Yeah. Come on.
Hey, Fo Minky Latte's in the house. Hey.
Hey, Fo. Hi, Fo. We're talking about Fear Street and we're going down memory lane.
Yes.
So, yes.
I never jumped out the back of the bus.
You never did anything crazy. You never rode on I lived near the train tracks in East Hartford, and I used to have to walk my little sister home. And whenever a freight train would come by, because it would come by right at the time we were leaving school, I would jump on it. I would jump on the moving freight train and freight train my way all the way to the house and then hop off because it was going slow because there was I mean, it was a fast ride. And my little sister used to have to run behind me.
I was going to say I never jumped out of the back of the bus because I had an assigned seat at the front of the bus.
Oh, so you were a bad student.
I wasn't bad. I just didn't take to people trying to bully. I'm going to bully the bully. You start something with me, I'm going to finish it. And then, you fight too many times on the bus. They make you sit behind the bus driver. Yeah.
That's you,
all you gotta do is
right?
leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm cool. I'm chilling. So So let's get back into this.
On my list, I wrote down Friday the 13th, The Killer in the Woods.
Oh, these are the homages that I picked up on the first Fear Street, but upon rewatching, I picked up another one. I'll talk about it in a minute.
Hey, by the way, turn that your audio down on the YouTube a little bit if you can, just a little bit.
Oh, in the video.
Yeah, because I can barely hear you when you're talking. If you're talking.
Gotcha.
Dream, because the first kill scene, the costume kind of reminds you of Ghostface. And Nightmare on Elm Street, because they made booby traps. Halloween, the scene where the babysitters are talking to each other. Well, actually, one of the girls is babysitting, the other one's not babysitting, but they're talking to each other over the phone. It kind of reminded me of Halloween. Hellraiser, the way one of the entities reanimated from the floor, reminded me of when Uncle Frank came back. Obviously, The Shining, with the axe scene through the door.
Yeah.
Flatliners, which is a 90s classic to me, with them trying to kill someone and then revive them. Mm-hmm. Intruder, which is a underrated slasher flick that takes place in a grocery store. And one of the kills they did also reminded me of a kill from Intruder.
That's right.
The Omen, from the music cue at the end of the movie. And The Exorcist, because there is somewhat a possession. This movie's not without its faults. I don't think that
you got
amazing, but I think it's
fun.
I would say more Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, you could say that. It's more of a Deadite type of thing.
Because the way, they tied her up and they chained her to a radiator, and she was acting, and she had flies going around her head. So it was more, to me, it was more of a Deadite.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Especially being that it's on Netflix. I do wonder how the younger generation will take it, especially if they don't know what movies this movie is referencing. I do think the fashion could have been a little bit more diverse. Everything was just the grunge look. We had lots of different looks in the 90s, like the funky polka dots that I'm rocking right now. But costume design aside, it felt fairly 90s-ish. Oh, there was another comment someone made. They asked about why would the phone cord be that long?
Yep,
because it's a corded phone in the kitchen. Yeah, some of the cords were super long that you could walk around the house with them. This is before a lot of people had cordless phones. Mm-hmm. All in all, I thought Fear Street 1994 was pretty fun. It had a variety of kills, which I enjoyed. The gore was all right, especially considering that they kind of mixed practical effects with CGI. The CGI did not look too bad. And I'm intrigued by the fact that this is going to be a 3-part series. So I'll be back in a moment to talk to you about Fear Street 1978.
All right. Okay. So, what's your opinion?
Well, I still have the same opinion of the Fear Street movies. I think the first one is probably the most rewatchable. And this is just my opinion. I probably would need to revisit the second one. But right now I still think I like the first one the best. Also, I forgot to mention in my review, this character that's behind bars right here, he was pretty funny to me. I thought he was good comedic relief. When I made this visual, I put who you said your favorite character was, the little brother.
Yeah, he was. They kept calling him Urkel.
But I selected some of these stills because of the callbacks to different horror movies. Like I said, the grocery store was giving Intruder the whole time for me. And then
the video game reference. As soon as he said it, I knew what he was talking about. Right when he was with the cheerleader girl, and he said up, down, left, right, BA start. Mm-hmm. I knew exactly what he was talking about.
I did not. Can you share with us what he was talking about?
Yes. It's infinite lives. That's how you get more lives. Like on any Konami game, like Contra, Ninja Gaiden, I think. But if I was just used to always play Contra, but if you do up down on the remote, you go up down, left, right, BA start. Real quick, you get boom, infinite lives.
You know what's funny?
What?
I think Megan said that in one of her songs. Well, on a feature, I should say. She was featured on Twice's song My Strategy.
Who said it?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh.
She says left, right. She says left, right, up, down. She says something like that.
Yeah.
As part of her rap.
Okay.
And since the song is called Strategy, she's probably talking about, her strategy on video games. But Megan she is our geek queen. Have you ever seen that video of her in high school? There's a video of Megan in high school saying it's an affront to geeks everywhere. I don't know the context of what she's talking about.
Did she say, she said the up, down, and then said WAP at the end?
No, then she said left, right, and something else.
I thought she was referring, because I thought you said WAP.
No.
Okay,
no,
never mind.
No, totally different song. No, it's Twice. Twice. How Twice likes to assault men, but not in a salacious way. They say things like you have two choices, yes or yes.
That's the one I read. That's the one I read.
Mm-hmm.
Read the lyrics of the same song that the women were singing, and it sounded creepy as hell when I was saying it.
Yes,
because I was
Twice
it's a creepy song.
Twice gets away with lyrics that if a dude sang them would get them canceled.
Yeah,
but how did I get on this stuff? Oh yeah, because of the video game thing. I was like, how did I get all the way over to Twice? Shout out to them. Something else that I noticed in the first Fear Street. I'm gonna advance the slide because I didn't notice it the first time, but the second time, look at the masks. What do they remind you of?
Halloween.
Yeah, which Halloween?
3.
That's right. I don't know why I did. This went right over my head the first time.
Oh, that's the laughter. Oh, that's it. There you go. Thank you.
That was that a slow clap?
Yeah, that's a. Woo! Yeah, they're cheering. Well, anyways, yes.
I also mentioned in my review just now about Intruder and about how they did an homage to that scene. I think I have a clip of that scene, of the scene from Fear Street. Let's see. Yeah, this was my favorite kill. Like, you think that he's just gonna do this and be like, oh, okay, that's it, that's enough. But nope, there's more. And this has to be like they saw Intruder and said, how can we improve upon this?
Yeah.
I doubt this machine would actually cut through a skull, but still, cool.
The bread slicer.
Even how the shot cuts to the floor with the blood dripping is similar to Intruder.
Yeah. This is my favorite. One of my favorites right here. Is it this one? Is it right here?
Yep. Yeah, because this I like the 1994 because it was mostly practical effects. They might have done just a little bit of CG, but it's mostly practical effects, and I that's my favorite type of effects.
All right. Well, I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't bad. I just not a rewatchable movie for me. But I did like the kills. But there were only a couple. But all right, go ahead and on to the next one. This was my favorite.
Yeah, well, tell us why it's your favorite.
Because I like the setting. I like the 70s style to it. I enjoyed the what do you call it? The girls, even wasn't there was a girl selling drugs in this too?
Yeah, there's always one.
Yeah, there's always one.
Except for I can't remember if there was one in 1666.
No, they were given elderberries.
Well, I wonder if people get high off the elderberries. I don't know.
But I don't know what they were. They weren't elderberries, but I was Monty Python. But no, I liked it because, and it was what I liked about it. One killer, one. That's it. Yes. And he reminded me of the Jason.
Fomiki Latte says never got to read the books of this franchise. I haven't either, and there's quite a few. There's Of the 4 movies, they used 8 books in the Fear Street franchise or the book series to create these 4 films. So that's a lot of books. And there's more than just 8 books. I understand. All right, let's get into reacting to my initial thoughts and whether I still feel this way about the second Fear Street movie.
Hello? It's not over.
You are our last chance. How do we end this?
You have to go back.
Yeah, that's Book of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
The first day of
Yeah, it does remind me of the Book of the Dead. I've never seen a radio like that, but maybe they had them like that in the
Do you have a
70s.
better idea?
Maybe.
Who are you? Bad things always
I like
happen
Sadie
to
Sink in
shapeshifters.
this.
You feel
Yeah.
it, don't you? There's something holding us down.
What's funny, when I was watching this, hold on, let me go back to that scene right there.
What scene?
It's right here.
Oh,
Looks like
Do you have a better idea?
maybe.
Who are you?
Nick, good.
Bad things
When
always happen
they
to
were
shapeshifters.
together,
You feel it,
Yeah.
don't you? There's something holding us
trying to
down.
get them both on the screen, it's right there. I was looking at Sadie Sink and this dude and thinking, is that okay for them to be, hugged up with each other?
yeah. Well,
And
you know
when I
what's
look,
funny? Go ahead,
Mhm.
finish.
I looked it up, and he's 17 and she's 21.
And
But
you
they
know
look
what's
the opposite. He looks 21 and she looks 17. It's
By the
still
way,
a little bit problematic, though.
by the way,
Hmm.
um, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Your opinion hasn't changed. When you play your video, you're going to hear you said the same exact thing. The same
I
exact
did.
thing.
Yeah,
I know. I was
probably
watching
did.
it.
Oh, you watched my video?
Yes, I
Thank you.
watched it. I wanted to see what you thought of it before I watched it and to see if your idea
Mhm.
changed myself. So go ahead and continue on.
Okay.
Of course he knows.
The
That's
bag
what I
had-
like.
Yeah, that reminds me of Friday 13th too.
gonna die tonight.
It all reminds me of Friday the 13th,
Hmm.
It's not just a
except for
diary,
one
it's a
part.
I'm not letting you die.
My sister's still out there.
We can end this.
You swore. It's becoming a habit.
Yeah, the lighting wasn't bad in this either, but it kind of didn't make sense in this one because at the
The-
camp, where are the red and green lights coming from?
My problem with this, maybe it was because of color war. I
Mhm.
don't know, but my problem was they should have just kept it with the killer.
Yeah.
As soon as they went underground to the Stranger Things world, with the thing pulsing, I was like,
Yeah.
damn it. I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
keep it
I think I
simple.
would have preferred it being a straight slasher also.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Hmm. Now, here's what I
Yeah,
initially
what did you-
thought back in
yes.
2021.
Wow.
Welcome back, and let's talk about Fear Street Part 2, 1978. Well, it's supposed to be 1978, but everyone's shorts are too loose and all the hair is wrong. It doesn't look like 1978 at all. When I googled the writers, I noted that they were born in 1980 and 1983, so that probably explains that. They are clearly paying homage to Friday the 13th, but they didn't check the date. The Friday the 13th series are 80s movies, not 70s movies. All of the other movies that this one references that I picked up on were also 80s movies. Anyway, we're
Yeah.
going to ignore that it's supposed to be in 1978 and just pretend like it's 1984, because that's what it feels like. At first, I was a little bit uncomfortable about these two characters having a love scene together because
Yeah,
this
that's
dude
right.
looks
Agreeing with
hella
yourself
old
again.
and she looks super young. And then I Googled them and turns out he was only 17 during the filming of this and she was 19. Still,
ladies and
a little
gentlemen?
uncomfortable knowing that he was.
Side note, I need to dig those glasses back out because I think they're cute.
Side note, you see, people, this is what I deal with all the time.
What?
Huh? You'll repeat yourself and then like you say sometimes you'll say you'll I agree with this show because of blah 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 blah. And then years later, you go, I agree with the show because blah, 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 blah. And I already know what you're going to say like this because you
Yes, I
just said
still.
it again.
What I said? Did I initially talk about my glasses before?
No. I'm
Oh.
talking about the picture that you have. 'cause
Yes. Because look, he does look hella old. I would have never thought that he was 17 years old. He looks grown.
And shout out to anybody in the chat or anybody that's watching this later on that could tell where her Riverdale shirt is from.
Mm.
She's wearing
they
a
probably
Riverdale
know.
shirt.
Underage,
Yeah.
but he still looks hella old. Like what? Moisturize. Also, I
sorry.
have
Wait, what?
a
What
hard time believing
moisturize?
that anyone that
You said
Yeah,
what? Moisturize.
I told him to moisturize. I apologize. That wasn't very nice.
Whatever. It's also
was that into punk music that early when it was still underground would even attend summer camp, much less work at one. So suffice to say, I didn't love the character so much in part 2. I do like the backstory about the witch. I found that very intriguing.
no.
I thought that the location looked great. Like you really felt like you were at a summer camp. For anyone
Yes.
that's worked at a summer camp, did you really have to clean like outhouses? Or that just seems really, really gross. I couldn't be me. There's some decent kills in this, but I didn't like them as much as the kills in 1994. I was a little bit disappointed that they still didn't explain a couple of the other entities yet. Speaking of age, I forgot to mention that this character from Fear Street 1994 is actually almost 30 years old, but she passes for a teenager so easily.
Yeah,
To
she was
say
29
which
when I
Fear
made
Street
this
I
video,
liked
I think.
better, I'm going to go with 1994 better
See
than
what I mean?
1978. I did check out the trailer for the next installment, which takes place in 1666, and I'll be watching that later tonight, so hopefully I'll have a review for it tomorrow. So to recap, I thought Fear Street 1994 was alright, it was a lot of fun, had a 90s feel. Fear Street Part 2, 1978, not so much. While I wasn't exactly bored by it, I just didn't think that it was as good
Bing,
as
bing,
the
bing.
first Fear Street. I am looking forward to Fear Street Part 3 because I like that type of lore, especially witch folklore. Check out my review for The Witch and Eyes of Fire because this is giving me that type of feel and I like those type of period piece horror movies. But like I always say, just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it. Because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. Have you seen Fear Street Part 1, 1994 or Fear Street Part 2, 1978? What did you think of them? Put it in the comments. Also, are you looking forward to Fear Street 1666? Until next time. Bye.
All right. So, yes, Fo. Fo got it right.
Yes, Fo got it right. It's from the Archie Comics, but that specific shirt is also from Riverdale, the TV series, because on the back of it, it says HBIC, which Veronica wears. I think they're at like a cheerleading practice, and Veronica's shirt says Riverdale across the front, and on the back it says HBIC.
Well, the good thing is now, if you ever do another review of a 70s movie, you can wear your Camp Arawak shirt.
Oh, yeah, I can.
But, yeah, you still didn't pause it to explain yourself when you were talking. You were just listening to yourself. But anyways,
Yeah, I did.
how did you
I
feel
was-
about it?
I
How do
still
you
feel the
feel?
same way. I still
Same
feel the
exact
same
way?
way. Yeah,
Well, then you
I still like 1994 better.
you've got 1994 goggles on.
Yeah. And
I mean,
for oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I mean, the music, like I said, the music in this one was great too. But
yeah, the music. Too.
but what was it? What was it called? The one with Heather Goth, Mia, not
Mia
Mia,
Goth.
X, Mia Goth. Was it X that had Jenna Ortega in it too?
Yes,
Was
that
the-
was.
okay. Remember when the guy was in the van and don't Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper came on?
Yes.
And I said to you, oh, he's about to die. They did the same Don't Fear the Reaper in this movie, but nobody died.
Yeah,
They just played it, and I was like, "Why?" I
well,
was
nobody
expecting
died
someone to
at that
die.
moment, but plenty of people died in the movie, but just not at that moment.
But yeah, but I'm just saying, like I was expecting somebody to die because Don't Fear the Reaper was playing. Is what I was saying. But yeah, that's why I like that.
I do have a kill scene from this movie for us to react to as well. So let's get into that. Nope, that's in the wrong place.
Well,
there it
all
is.
right. Interesting.
bleeding! Cindy?
Now that music sound. See, that's. I think that's what was making me think of The Exorcist of the Omen. This music.
Faster!
You're going to die.
And then maybe did Rosemary's Baby also have music like this? It kind of felt like that.
Somebody got referenced to Rosemary's Baby in one of these movies.
Yeah, in the fourth one.
Okay. But I thought
The bully girl said, "Who was Rosemary's Baby?"
Where is she? Where's the body? I don't know.
So where's this kill?
It's coming.
This way. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, see how he's running? I like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want, Seraphir? You want this? You can have it. Just let my sister live. Just let my sister live.
This is a very long death scene.
Blood on the bone.
Yeah, it is. I should have edited it down.
Get ready to run.
A little bit.
No, no,
I don't even. Okay. She hits him. And he hits her.
Mm-hmm. And still, gotcha, bitch. So I heard Dave Chappelle in my head.
Oh, this one? You like this one?
No, it's not the best one. It's the only one that was available on YouTube.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm done. Let's keep going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then he reached and try to touch hands, sisters,
Mm-hmm.
as they're getting decimated. And then the older sister talks.
There's no way you'd still be able to talk
No.
while you're getting chopped in the chest with a hatchet. Like that's not a thing.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Matter of fact, if you tried to talk, you probably would just sound like gurgling. because of the blood.
Yeah. But anyways, yes.
For Shady Side.
Okay,
That's the trailer.
That's the trailer for part 3, I believe.
I think so, yes. Oh, Full Monkey Latte says.
I refuse to watch more than one season of Riverdale. Every time I went to watch an episode, it looked like as if they retconned the characters' personalities and storylines. I agree. I only watched the first season, and I watched half of the second season. And I was just like, this is going to weird places. I'm out.
I've never watched it, so.
But you were saying that Fear Street 1978 is your favorite of the series?
No, not after watching Prom Queen.
Oh, not after Prom Queen, but you did enjoy it.
I did. It's second.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did like I didn't think I'd like I didn't really enjoy it. Yeah, in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we're spoiling these, obviously, right?
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
You know what? Let me put up the banner. I can't believe I forgot to put up the banner. There we go.
Yeah, I don't really like movies that are like thou shalt notheth, because I kept hearing the main girl from part 1 and part 2. I kept hearing her accent that she tried to have.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be an Irish accent or if it was supposed to be English accent or if it was an accent at all. But yeah, that I kind of didn't pay attention to. And then I looked up and it said Fear Street Part 2, 1994. And I said, oh, great. Here we go. So, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Oh, did you have
No,
anything else you want to add?
I was laughing because I was waiting. That was just a weird
Oh
segue.
no,
Go ahead.
I'm
Continue.
rolling into 1666 right now.
Go for it.
Which, by the way, I the reason why I didn't show a clip of me originally reviewing it is because I did a live stream specifically on 1666. So go to my channel and check out the live stream if you want like a more detailed conversation. But we're still going to go over a little bit of it right now. Here's the trailer.
What the hell?
You see it now.
Sarah!
I think it's like every time that she gets killed, she reincarnates.
I think so.
Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Sarah fear, you know nothing good comes from those woods after sundown.
What was that?
Yeah, just and I was just go ahead, continue.
No, I paused it because you were about to say something.
No, I was gonna ask, in the books,
Mhm.
if anybody's read the books, does she prefer a member of the same sex as well in the books, or is it just this character was like supposed to be like this? Because in every movie,
Mhm.
she had a love interest.
Mhm.
There's not a problem with that. I was just asking, just wondering.
You were just wondering if R.L. Stine was modern enough to have included a queer romance in his books.
You say it so much. It's when I say it, I feel like I'm gonna get canceled. So yes, exactly how you said it. Great, thank you.
Yes.
The truth will follow you forever.
Yeah.
What happens now?
My question: did you what did you think of the kids being killed? But it was off screen. But what did you think of that?
I didn't think anything about it. I was just like, hey, that's how it goes sometimes. I'm
Like
not. I know some people are against children, not surviving horror movies. Although I can tell you some of my favorite child deaths. I guess it sounds sick when I say it, but
Yeah.
Halloween Ends. That kid that was good. What's another one was good? The kid that we just talked about in Final Destination. Is it 5? I think it's 5 with the glass.
Yeah, the one with the glass. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
He wasn't really a child though, was he?
He was still a kid. He was like 14. That's still considered a kid to me. 12 to 14ish. And the little boy that got hit with the piano in Final Destination Bloodlines. Like
that
was you could do it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he got hit with the piano.
Oh, you're forgetting one.
What?
Didn't Art do something to a child in Terrifier 3?
Yeah, off screen, they didn't show it. They didn't show with the little brother. They just showed that his head was severed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They showed like the aftermath. They didn't show the actual kill.
But the trailer is so misleading because the trailer just shows like olden times, 1666. But like I said, it flash forwards to 94.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally get the ending to the movie, to the ending to the trilogy. But was it an ending? Did you notice? Did you notice there were stingers though? Like when you first watched them?
No, I didn't.
Because let me explain. Just from now on, anytime a movie ends and there's like 7 or 8 minutes left, that's not all credits. So as soon as I looked at Fear Street 2 and I like paused it because I was like, all right, I'm about to turn, like I was going to back out and go to the next one. And I looked and it said there was a lot of time left. So I said, huh. So I started doing on Netflix. I, scrolled over a little bit. And then I saw the picture. And of course with Prom Queen, I did the same thing. That's why I told you there was a stinger. But Continue on.
Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, I have a few screenshots that I took. Sarah Fear, the first Shady Sider, and when I first watched this, I did not recognize that the young lady in the you see the picture in the bottom left panel. There's a blonde girl there. I think that's the same girl that's in the picture on the right bottom, with the blonde girl with the glasses. Does that look like the same girl to you?
They were all recycled, all of them.
Well, not recycled, reincarnated.
Yeah,
I guess you could call that recycling.
Character-wise, I mean, yeah, they were in each one of them was the same. They were all in the same Fear Street saga.
Yes,
but I don't think Sadie Sink was. No, she died.
Yes,
right?
she was.
No,
She's right there. She's right there in the middle. She had
Yeah,
a
I
little
know.
bit part
But so she was in the
in 1666. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, even the dude with the long hair that was a scarecrow dude was like rotten teeth talking about he's a witch, witch. So he was in it. The other nerdy dude that the girl said that was the one in the camp one where he was like, yeah, all right. What do you say? I can't remember. He said something like something in Cox. Listen up, we're gonna win this color war against those guys over there. You know, he was like pepping up his side. He was in it because he was one of the other people, and the sheriff was in it. So yeah. Okay. So,
I also like the way it circled back to the 80s. It's very cyclical.
I enjoyed.
I mean, 90s. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say because as soon as it said that 1994, that's when I said because I was done. I was like, all right. And then when it said, I was like, wait, this movie's not even done yet. What the hell are they gonna do? And then 1994 part 2. I said, oh, let me sit down and watch this. And we got, like I said, we got our final. What did you think of it? Like how they got trapped the killers in the stores?
I think that the mall sequence was a lot of fun.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the mall sequence? Do you remember?
No, I didn't.
It's fresh to me because I literally just watched it today.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to rewatch 1666.
I know that it was somebody's blood. It was Sarah Fear's bloodline or whatever that would attract the killers.
And they had to find a tree. I do remember they had to find a tree, the same tree.
Yeah, yeah. And the tree was in the middle of the mall. And Sarah Fear or her ancestor cut her blood and put it in a bucket, and then they all mixed like Dayglow paint in it, and then they put arrows and wrote salacious things like about the cop being an asshole and all that good stuff to get everybody in there. And then they trapped the killers in the stores. And then what they did was with the cop, they took the cop and they sprayed him with the blood of the girl so that the killers would come and kill him.
Yeah.
But when he grabbed Ziggy from part 2, Ziggy, the young child, I didn't mean to yell that into the microphone, sorry. But anyways, when he grabbed Ziggy, he got his blood on her, and the killer started coming after her until she threw the thing down. But I wanted to see like more backstory when it came to the triple killers, like the ones that you liked. We got the dude, the Jason dude, but you always heard the one you love girl. I wanted to see her story. I wanted to see the dude that looks like Violent Nature dude.
Yeah,
his story. Even that dude, the barbershop guy. Was he a barbershop dude that had like half a face burnt off and he was stabbing every him? I like there's like three more stories.
More character development. Yeah,
origin stories.
Yeah, it seems like with some portions of these movies the plot is rushed. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, they use different elements of different plots from 8 different books, but for 4 movies, that's a lot of trying to smash things together in a short amount of time. I think they could have developed the stories a little bit more.
10 pounds of waste in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah. Let me see if I put a scene from here on the end of here. I can't even remember. No, I didn't. I didn't have an extra scene, so it goes right into Prom Queen. I'm gonna do an ad break before we go into Prom Queen because I have so much to say about Prom Queen.
I'm sure you do.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be back in 2 and 2.
All right, shout out to R.I.P. Chuck Woolery. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so let's get into Prom Night. I'm sorry, not Prom Night. Fear Street Prom Queen.
See, you did what I
did. It pretty much did a lot of homages to Prom Night, like that dance sequence in the middle of the movie for no reason. That's completely Prom Night. If you've seen the one with Jamie Lee Curtis,
I was thinking more of a Bollywood movie.
Yeah, but have you seen Prom Night?
Is that the one with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yes, I just said that. Yep. Have you seen it?
No.
See,
never saw it.
That's why you didn't get the reference.
Oh.
It's a slasher movie. It's really good. We should watch it actually. There is a disco dance sequence in the middle of the movie.
Is that where the raincoat comes from?
No, the raincoat was reminding me of this movie called Alice, Sweet Alice, also known as Communion. Have you seen Alice, Sweet Alice?
I have.
You have?
It was a yellow raincoat, and it was a clear mask.
It was a yellow raincoat, and also
a clear mask. Yes.
Yes, and also I think in Prom Night, there was a killer crossing people out in the yearbook, if I recall correctly. Another picture that I used here is one of the characters reading Fangoria.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that was the girl that cut her arm off in class. Yeah.
I got a lot to say about her. But anyways, my thing was what was I going to say? Oh my goodness, keep going. That's what I remember what I was going to say. Were you expecting Prom Night? Everything's gonna whatever that song is, the Prom Night theme song.
All right. Yeah, that I like the disco scene. About the music in this movie.
Great.
Well, no, let me play the trailer and then we'll get really, really into the meat and bones of it. So let me play the trailer for anyone who wants to refresh their memory. That is not the trailer. That's a clip. That's a clip from the previous movies. But I'm gonna let it rock. That's the part you didn't like with the thing. Yeah, this is just like a super cut of the previous. Some of the best scenes. Yeah.
I love that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I will shadow you for eternity. Come on! And everything you take.
Yes, this. Are you sure this is a trailer?
And everyone you harm.
No, I said it wasn't a trailer. I said it was like a supercut scene.
Oh.
I will follow you forever. I will never let you go.
Actually, that was the ending to 1666.
That was the whole ending.
Yeah. They mislabeled this. It is not a supercut. Yeah. Well, congratulations, you got spoilers for 1666.
Only 2 days to go until
And this is
I
the new
kind of
one.
wish they had did the whole movie like this. It should have been on VHS. or they could have done an overlay to make it look like it was VHS. I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Prom, and anything could happen.
Now, her character reminded me of Chainsaw from Summer School, if you remember Summer School.
Don't.
Did you see Summer School?
I'm not even answering that one at all because no, I've never seen it.
Oh, wow, man. There's a character. His name is Chainsaw. He's one of the kids in the summer school, and he would pull pranks like that. Summer School is the clip that I use in some of my videos where the Italian exchange student, when she goes, "Oh, it's disgusting. I love it." That's from Summer School.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Okay. I'll have to show you. I won't show you the whole movie. I'll find the scenes for you to watch.
Janet.
Megan Rogers, principal's office right now.
He sounded like
the teacher from Beavis and Butthead.
that, and he sounded like Joe.
Joe who?
From Family Guy. The one in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know what's funny, when I said Joe who, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, because in Golden Girls, when Dorothy was substitute teacher,
Mama,
they kept on saying, ask Joe, and she would say Joe who, and they'd say Joe Mama.
Yeah, my mom says that all the time.
Bo Mickey Latte says Alice, Sweet Alice is one of my faves. I definitely have to rewatch it. I have not seen that since I was a kid, so I want to watch it with my adult mind.
Yes.
Also, the colors for 88. No. The jacket is right. The shirt is wrong. The jacket could be like this, but it could also be acid wash. Acid wash was everywhere. And also, don't forget stonewash. You know the difference between acid wash and stonewash, like by looking at it, because that will tell your age. I know the difference.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I will get into it. The hair is all wrong too. I'm sorry. Before I hit play
Here
again.
we go.
Where are her bangs? Where is the spiral perm? Where the hair is all wrong for 1988.
Hey, at least when they were in the bathroom, they were using hairspray.
Yes, but for what? I don't know, because they didn't have their hair.
I had a problem. You know what? I'm glad you said that, because I had a problem with one scene, and it wasn't even with the main character. When they were in the bathroom, there was a black girl with curly hair in the background. I looked at, right? What she was wearing, I was like, I don't even think that was from the 88. It was like a cable knit sweater with like the holes in it, and like a necklace with a medallion. Like, she looked like she would be like a bohemian now.
Yeah.
And there were a couple people in the background, and I was like, they don't even look like they're dressed like 88
at all.
So because, I agree with
Fomiki Latte says they're never going to get the hair or fashion correct. It bothers me so much that they don't do that. Like, they're able to do it with the 70s a lot of the times. They always mess up the afros. They mess up the afros. They get these afro wigs that are unsculpted, and afros are very sculpted. They're picked out. They're cut into that shape, and then you have to pat it down so it's nice and round. It's not just a free flowing thing like what we wear now. Like, when we wear our hair natural now, we don't do that. We don't pick it out and pat it down so much. Although I have seen that coming back. When I went to the movies by myself to see, what did I go and see? I got up in the morning and I saw Lady in the Yard, or Woman in the Yard rather. The young lady that was an usher there, she had the roundest afro, like really 1970s style afro. She picked it out and patted down and everything. I don't know whether she was 17 or 19, but her hair was awesome.
And I bet you told her too.
Yes, I told her, because like I always say, if you see something positive, say it, because people see something negative in there. The first ones to point out everything that's negative, point out something positive. Okay, let me continue.
Miss Granger.
Yeah, we could see. I should have paused it right there and analyzed those outfits.
No.
Principal's office right now.
Also, yeah, that's 88. Okay, yeah.
Place on earth, they say in heaven. What? You don't.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'll leave it.
This is your time to shine.
And that teacher character was like, for what reason? She was just there to be extra Christian for no reason and tell the kids.
You know
not
what?
to be
That
sexy.
woman
Like,
who was that woman? Because she looked familiar. Was she in the
you've seen
Austin
her
Powers
before.
movies?
No, she was in The Conjuring. She was the mom
Oh.
on The Conjuring. She was
Okay.
also in The Haunting, the remake of The Haunting, the one from 1998, I think, or 96.
Ah, okay.
This is the new shady side. The promise of a bright future.
Look at that hair too. I'm sorry, I can't even
This is
pause
your
it in the
chance
right
to fulfill
spot.
that
But this
promise.
haircut,
I'm trying to win prom queen, but I am never gonna find a prom dress. You're so gonna win prom
these
queen.
prom dresses were horrible. Who? Okay, I'm gonna let
Yo,
it go. I'm
I was
getting
gonna say,
emotional.
I was gonna tell
I'm
you,
getting emotional.
my man
Mhm. Yeah.
had a muff. You know what a muff is?
What is that?
What we used to call a messed up fade.
Oh.
Like the dude when he had his fade, but it was dark. Like she thought he was hot,
Ugh.
You better believe I am.
and her,
Where-
she annoyed
yeah.
me.
She was very annoying. This dress.
I literally, I could pick like the problem with this. Well, I'm going to try to play the. I'm sorry, play the track.
Hi. If you make a fool of
Him.
Yeah, that haircut. Yeah, I can't. Every time I try to pause it, it's like 2 seconds too late. Oh,
And
went back
his
too far.
hair was not the one that bothered me the most.
Oh, it was the guy with the scrunchie.
You better believe I
Oh, it
am.
looked like he had a scrunchie.
He did. It was pink.
Okay. See if I can pause.
Hi. If you make a
There it goes. This right here. What is this? It's almost like Michael Jackson's hair in 1982.
Yeah.
In
no.
1982. He
But
would
no,
have
my
been
man.
man in 82.
But my man had
Tom
a
Hanks hair and what's that movie? Bachelor Party.
Oh, but
Also
the other
early
dude,
80s.
the other dude that you were talking about, my man had a bouffant
Yes.
in the front and a ponytail in the back with a scrunchie, and it was driving me absolutely insane the whole time.
You could tell that whoever made this movie does not remember the 80s that well. You should have got some older consultants.
I was figuring that he made him have a scrunchie because it was the prom, and he was,
Who would wear a
trying to-
scrunchie to prom?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, we wore scrunchies, yes, not to prom. You wore scrunchies to regular day at high school.
fool of me, this will be the end of you.
It's Shady Side. When's it all going to go wrong?
That was a good scene.
Yeah. And when that killer first showed up with their arm behind their back, it was reminding me of the scene that I showed yesterday from Curtains. How the killer had the sickle behind their back and he had the cleave behind his back.
The ice skating killer.
I just saw something in the hallway.
The makeup is wrong too.
You'll never prom queen.
The whole prom in '88, no one has lip gloss on. Are you kidding me? Lip gloss was I mean, let me clarify. I was not in high school in the 80s. I was in middle school in '88. I would have been in 7th grade. Still, that's still around teenagers. And I remember what my older cousins looked like. I remember what the older girls walking home from school looked like. I remember what they looked like. And they didn't, I never saw anyone's prom picture that has a scrunchie on. It's just not a thing. They just didn't do it. All right.
Megan, go! I know how it sounds. A whole bunch of people have disappeared. Where are all the prom queens? We're trapped! How do we get out of here?
Wowzers.
This is a very special night, and someone is ruining it! Put the music back on.
Yeah, that was the best scene.
I'm gonna cut the bitch that did this.
No, I got my favorite
That
scene.
didn't make sense either. Why were they doing this dance on stage for prom queen? Like, that's not a thing. At least not where we're from. Like, is that a Midwestern thing? Oh, shoot.
I don't know. I don't know. But you thought that was the best kill?
No, not the best kill. I said the best scene because he just walked in there with an axe and started chopping.
Put the music back on. I'm gonna cut the bitch that did this.
There's no reason for this. This is not a thing that happened with prom queens. We just voted. You just gave in a vote and you put it in a box. There was no performance or anything. Like, I don't know where in America is this happening. Someone let me know. Is it Nebraska? I've never been to Nebraska. Maybe that's where things like this happen. Or Idaho. I'm not familiar with Idaho. Maybe that's where these things happen. But on the East Coast, we didn't do all this for prom queen. Everybody wear a matching swimsuit and do a choreographed dance. Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Well, Mickey Latte says, didn't people have a slight fascination with 50s and 60s fashion? That's the way it appeared in the movies and TV shows. There was a rockabilly moment in the 80s where some people did kind of dress up in 50s and 60s style clothing.
That's right.
And I remember when I was a senior in high school, 70s were starting to come in. I remember we would wear like psychedelic prints and we wore peace sign necklaces. I remember my mother saying, "Why are you guys wearing peace sign necklaces again? It's 1994." We'd be like, "Because it's cool." And she was like, "We already did that."
Now, before you say anything, some of the best movies about the 50s came out in the 80s.
Yes.
Like Stand By Me. I think La Bamba came out. Grease.
Yeah.
And,
well, I think it's because the people making those movies, they were probably reminiscing about when they were younger. And they would have been younger or kids. Like Stephen King was a kid in the 50s. So when he wrote Stand By Me, he's harkening back to his childhood.
And I forgot. I was going to say, but you started talking, but my favorite, The Outsiders.
Yeah.
That was another one.
We had to read that in school. The teacher had us read it to teach us about class consciousness.
But it was great. The whole dance scene made no sense. Made zero sense.
You having a good night?
That was a good scene right there with the paper cutter.
Yeah.
Very good.
He tried to grab the door handle. I laughed. There was one that I really, really laughed at, like out loud, sitting here by myself. You know which one it was?
No, which one was it?
It was to do with the mullet. And he's like,
"Oh, when he was talking, it was just a mouse."
Yeah, and he got the saw to the side of the face because that made me laugh. I laughed my ass off.
That was a good kill scene.
But anybody that has a keen eye, like when it comes to like horror movies, can spot who the killer was.
Yes,
right away,
and who their accomplice was.
Right away, like it wasn't even like. It wasn't like a Scream, like where you go, wait a minute, oh wow, it's Billy Loomis. This one was like, as soon as it happened, I was like, yep. And I kind of figured the accomplice because of one unspoiling the movie. Are we spoiling this one too?
Yep.
Okay, well, when they had the two killers with the red coats on either side of the doorway when the dude fell. I was like, as soon as she stuck the killer in the eyeball, I was like, well, where's this other killer? They're around somewhere. I know who it is. I already know who it is. That's what I said.
Exactly. Same thing here. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, I know exactly who. Like once they did their Scooby-Doo unveiling, I knew exactly who the other killer was. A couple other gripes that I want to say. Well, let me say something positive before I say my gripes.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the gore. There was multiple limbs getting cut off. I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. What I kept on throwing me off. The movie kind of didn't know let me rephrase that. It did a lot of horror homages at the same time. There was a music cue that kind of reminds you of A Nightmare on Elm Street. We talked about how the raincoat could be an homage to Alice, Sweet Alice. What else did we talk about? We talked about the curtains. There's probably more. I'd have to rewatch it to catch all the references, but it seemed the movie felt like a person watched clips of horror movies, but not the full horror movie, to make it feel more solid. Also, with the accomplice walking up the stairs with the knife, hitting each rung of the banister with the knife, reminded me of something else, but I couldn't place where I've seen that before. Somebody was in the comments or somebody rewatching this, let me know if you remember a movie where someone is holding a knife and they're just letting it hit each rung of a banister as they go up the stairs.
I was waiting for in the scene in the basement, because you knew the killer was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for the screeching of the blade on like something metal, because I was like, "Yep, Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street."
Mm-hmm. Especially since they went downstairs in the school.
Yeah.
A couple things that kept taking me out of the moment, besides the hair and clothes that were off, the music. Their dance off in the middle of the prom was to Laura Branigan's Gloria. We weren't listening to that in 1988. That was like 1982, 83. And also this school setting, or at least the Fear Street series, gives me that they're set in New England, just because the whole, like we said earlier, the Salem's witch trials type of thing. It gives me New England. And since both of us are New Englanders, let's talk about what we actually listened to in 1988, which would have been freestyle music or hip hop, a lot of hip hop. They would have been they would have been playing, like, all kinds of well, I don't know if TKA is as early as that. I know Shannon was out. They would have been playing Shannon. They would have been playing who the girls are saying, "It takes two to make a thing go right." That
Sweet Sensation.
Sweet Sensation. I can never tell I know the songs, but if you ask me if it was Sweet Sensation, Seduction, Expose, or Cover Girls, I cannot tell the difference. They were all out at the same time, and they're all the same. I know they're different, but I just can't.
But remember. If I say I got a meeting in the ladies' room, you know who that is? Yeah,
that's the Mary Jane Girls.
And then what about the breakdancing dude?
Wait, no, it's not. That's Climax. Why did you let me give you the wrong answer? That's Climax. It's meeting in ladies' room. My house is Mary Jane Girls.
Right.
You almost had me say the wrong answer. The other thing is the dancing. I know these actors are very young and they would have had to study like how we dance, but I didn't see anybody doing the Roger Rabbit, the Cabbage Patch, the Pee Wee Herman, like none of the dances from the 80s at all.
I'm just looking at some of the songs.
Not that dance that they call the Carlton, but was really, really popular in the 80s. No one even was doing that. Like what the dancing at the prom was wrong.
If they if the directors did what I think they did, I'm looking at the Billboard year-end Hot 100 singles of '88.
Yeah.
And where is it at? Never Gonna Give You Up is on there. Rick Astley, because it was in the movie. And Heaven Is a Place on Earth was in '88. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the rest. Yeah, they played Duran Duran.
Hungry Like a Wolf, man. That's a great song.
That's like '84.
But it's still a great song.
I'm comparing this to my middle school dances because I would have been in middle school in '88. We were not dancing to Duran Duran. I'm sorry, we weren't. It's just not in '88.
Yeah.
I remember '89 more than '88 because I remember we danced to Rob Bass. Like in '89, that was the year we danced at Rob Bass. I think we danced to Chub Rock, even though in the song he says 1990, the song came out in '89. But it was like, to say that, he's going into the future or whatever. But that's the stuff we were dancing to. Who else were we dancing to in '89? Salt and Pepper. I remember they used to play Salt and Pepper at the dances. Who else they used to play? They actually still played rock music back then. Imagine that. They were still playing rock music. So they were playing.
Since you went to that school and you went to the was it junior prom? 88, right?
I'm talking about my middle school. Will be the
Oh,
7th grade and 8th grade dances would have been
isn't that
the
middle school
80s.
prom? That's junior. Oh, yeah. Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
junior prom is your junior year of high school. Yeah, I was in
Okay.
high school in the 90s, so that's why I keep saying middle school.
So you guys didn't dance at Don't Be Cruel?
Yes, we did. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was one of the biggest albums. Was Bobby Brown's album, and also I was talking to you about this the other day. Jody Watley, Friends with was it Eric B and Rakim?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge. Those were huge hits.
What about
89? I'm not sure about 88, but 89
what about
definitely.
no? I'm looking at the list for R&B list for 88. You remember all alone you get off on your own, girl. All alone you get off.
I'll
Yes.
be sure. Yeah, we used to dance. What do I look like? Dope on a rope?
Nope. What, I'm supposed to sweat you? You're supposed to run all over me? Yeah. The right stuff.
Latte says they could have consulted someone, but I bet they didn't think anyone would notice. Like, yeah, we noticed.
That's what was the song that they were having a dance off to? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was Laura Branigan, Gloria.
Why didn't they use like why didn't they use like the right stuff?
Yeah, that would have been it. Yes, they could have used
like because that was in 88.
Yeah, they totally forgot New Kids on the Block. Oh my god, they were so huge from like 87 to 89. They were huge.
Or your boy there, the Terrence Trent D'Arby song. What was it?
Wishing Well. I remember Wishing Well.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, there's a lot of other songs that I could have chosen because I'm looking at the list still. Like go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say they might have been constrained to what companies would allow them to use the music.
Yeah.
And also their budget. Like some songs are gonna be more expensive than other songs to license.
They could have played Groove Me by Guy.
Yes.
Anything by Guy back then, because my sister had that album.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like maybe whoever wrote this is from the Midwest. Because from what I understand, a lot of places in the Midwest outside of the Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis area, places like, I hate to say it again, but like Idaho, Nebraska, the Dakotas, those areas, they didn't have urban radio. They didn't have BET. There are places in America where Eminem is the first even rapper they heard.
Now that I'm thinking about it, even before the dance scene, when they were in the rooms, and Oprah was listening to Billy Idol's White Wedding.
Yeah, that's about 86 if I had to guess.
But
it could be earlier than 86, yeah.
I thought you would give them a shout out because on the Mean Girl wall there was like rockers, but when they went to the other girl, did you see who was on her wall?
No, I didn't notice it.
Prince.
Oh, okay.
So I was like,
she asked the DJ to play Prince at the prom.
Right. See, little nuances.
Yeah, and he would have had the Prince album that would have been out then is the one with Kiss on it, because I remember the music video playing in 87, around 87, 86.
That would have been a great song.
That's still a couple of years old. That's still like 86, 87, not 88. And remember, we're talking about the youth. Youth, we always, when you're young, you always want to listen to the newest stuff all the time. When you get older, you're like, yeah, I'll listen to whatever I like to listen to, no matter how old it is. But when you're a teenager, you want to hear the newest stuff, the stuff that just came out that year.
I'm trying to look at the 1988 rap songs while you're talking. Go ahead.
I'm looking at my notes to see if I missed anything I wanted to talk about. Oh, the teacher drinking at the prom reminded me of when we used to chaperone the prom and how the teachers used to sneak out to drink during the prom and sneak out to smoke during the prom while they're chaperoning.
Yeah, right when the kids are eating dinner. That's when you go outside to the car real quick. That's great.
Now to end, Drissa watched this one, well, parts of it with me, and she said that it's difficult for them to make movies like this after Terrified. And I wrote down her exact quote. She said,
"That motherfucker don't."
No.
Oh.
You cannot compete with a chainsaw up the ass crack.
Well,
That's what she said.
you can't compete with a chainsaw act. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into some trivia because I did pull some videos for us to take a look at that will tell us a little
Hello
bit more.
guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about 10 facts about R.L. Stine films on Netflix that you should know. Now, we will mostly be talking about the upcoming R.L. Stine film, Fear Street, that will be coming soon to Netflix. Now, let's start with number 10. Fear Street will be a trilogy.
Yeah,
Fear
we
Street
know that.
1994, Fear Street
This is not talking about Prom Night.
and
No,
Fear
no, no.
Street
It's just talking about the Fear Street series. It
1666
says
are all
says
part
10
of a
things that
loosely
you don't know
connected
about Fear
trilogy.
Street.
Some of the cast members will appear in multiple films, but all the films take place during different periods and follow different storylines. The only thing that will connect these films is that they all take place in Shadyside, Ohio. Number 9, Fear Street
Ohio.
will be released.
That's supposed to be Ohio? Then why do they have all the imagery from the East Coast of the witch stuff? Because that
I don't
from
know.
what I remember learning in school, that stuff happened in New England, not in the Midwest.
Yeah. I'll look it up. But I'm at 16%.
So they're supposed to be in Ohio. Okay, so then maybe that makes sense because the thing about music, hairstyles, things like that, towards the middle of the country, it used to be before the internet. Mind you, I'm saying this is before the internet. Styles traveled slower, and your proximity to New York, LA, and Miami, and Chicago. New York, LA, Miami, and Chicago is what kept you kind of in the loop of what's popping. And in New England, we're in close, southern New England, let me specify. We're in close proximity to New York, so we know about the things a lot sooner. So if you're also close to LA, you're close to Miami, you're close to Chicago, you're going to be more in the know. But in the outskirts of the U.S., before the internet, things took a long time for it to make it to those areas, and that could be why in Ohio they would be a couple years behind us in the East Coast when it comes to 1988.
Maybe.
So whoever wrote this, maybe they are writing from their perspective, from what they remember, if they're from Ohio. So obviously I can't speak on Ohio because I didn't grow up there. Although I have heard that Cleveland is like a very city. It's not like rural or anything.
Yeah. It's the capital of Ohio.
So we already knew that they produced 3 movies for the summer.
For 3 months in summer of 2020.
I may fast forward.
According to Deadline, Netflix wants to...
Yeah, I might fast forward to this one because this one...
He said that publishers didn't want a series because you couldn't have these horrible things happen to some kids over and over, trying to convince him that maybe that wasn't a good idea. His publishers in the end were wrong. The Fear Street series grew to include 51 main series, books,
51
and several
books.
series, and by 2014, the books had sold 80 million copies. Number 3, the name Fear Street. The creator R.L. Stine said, "It was the first one I thought of, Fear Street. And I thought that would be a place where bad things happen. It will be a very normal suburban town, but there'll be this one street that's cursed. People who go to Fear Street will experience terrible things happening to them." And that is how he got the idea for the series.
Why didn't they do that in the movies?
Yeah.
They have the movie set up that the whole town is cursed. Why not have that street cursed? That's a great idea. Why didn't they go with that idea?
Call it Elm. Elm.
Number 2, the killing spree. R.L. Stine commented about his body count in the Fear Street books. He said, "When we first started doing the teen horror novels, I wasn't allowed to kill anyone. Then we started getting bolder. 1 per book, maybe 2 or 3. It's a bloodfest." Number 1. R.L. Stine killed the series in late 90s and brought it back in 2014. After ending the Fear Street series in late 90s with Trapped, Stine returned to Shadyside with Party Games in 2014, saying, "The whole thing happened because of Twitter. It's a great way to keep in touch with my original readers, and Fear Street was mentioned more than anything else." After tweeting that no publishers were interested in bringing the series back, one publisher reached out to tell him that she would love to do it. and the
That's
rest is history. So if it wasn't for Twitter, we probably wouldn't have the Fear Street movies coming soon to Netflix. Now, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell on so you don't miss any of the future videos. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now this next video is saying the connections between the movies. It's a short video.
All right.
Prom Queen is the fourth installment in the R.L. Stine adaptation Fear series. The first 3 films were set in the town of Shadyside, while the other 3 films went backwards in time with each installment. This film is set in 1988. That will place this film in between the first and second films, showing us yet another new look at Shadyside. With a brand new set of characters, the town is the biggest connective tissue throughout the entire series. The 80s is the one decade that was skipped over during the original trilogy, leaving room for the classic fashion and music to take center stage. Even if the story is not connected, director Matt Palmer promises that this new outing will maintain the essence of the other films. The film takes place 2 days before prom, with the race for the coveted prom queen raging on. While each of the prospective candidates launches their campaigns, a newcomer joins the ranks.
I don't care where you are in the
the
US.
other prom queen wannabes are mysteriously disappearing. The prom queens have
the
fight to stay alive against yet another killer in Shadyside, leading to a prom night that they will never forget. While the first 3 films have recurring cast and characters, this film has a totally new main cast of characters.
Yeah, we noticed, but how does it connect?
As a standalone adventure, with the trilogy having completed the story it wanted to tell. This leaves room for more creative storytelling, as they are free to do whatever they want with the characters. That being said, the first 3 films set up quite a bit of lore for this universe. How Prom Queen will use or change that lore will certainly be interesting to see. Since we talked about the new cast, how about we meet them? This film is truly star-studded with the likes of India Fowler, Susanna Sun, and Phoenix.
This does not show how it connects. I hate when people mistitle their stuff.
Well, I mean,
you mistitled that video. You didn't say how these movies connected at all, and you wasted my time.
Oh, and watching that, it reminded me of what my big gripe was.
What's that?
You remember the girl with the short hair, the one that slicked her hair and wore the tuxedo to the prom?
Mm-hmm.
She did the whole practical joke thing, right? When she cut off her arm.
Yeah.
It was, she watches horror movies. She was reading a Fangoria, right? How the fuck does she not know how to escape from a killer when they're running?
Yeah. She was like, you would think that she would have thought these things through since she watched horror movies, but she just
she just everything she did was wrong. Like I didn't understand it. I was like, you're the one that likes horror movies. You should know how to take care of an axe wielding murderer or something, anything. But no, she was just hopeless.
Yeah,
and that was my gripe. Did she die? I can't remember.
No, she got saved by
that's right,
Lori. She was about to die. The killer was about to kill her, and then Lori stuck her crown in the killer's eyeball.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, she was about to get it. He stepped on her chest.
Yes.
I thought he was gonna cut her in half.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Come on with the she should have been the one that grabbed the tear and did the whole stabbing in the eye because she watched horror movies. But that was my one gripe. That was other than that, it was a decent movie. I thought that some of the music, one of the songs when they were playing it, reminded me of our intro song.
Oh.
And I think it was the beginning of Fear Street, the prom night one. It was one of the movies that I was singing, I was doing the same song, but I was thinking of our song. With the DeLorean rolling up.
Are you talking about the one where that plays over the graphic of
with the DeLorean rolling up?
Yeah.
I think it was this movie that they were playing that, and I was like, it sounds like that movie. Yeah, it had to be 88 because that's basically when they thought that stuff came out. All right.
I just wanted to highlight some of the artwork for their I wouldn't say all these are posters. They're more They weren't used as posters on Netflix. I guess they're just for advertising, but I think they look cool. They look like book covers.
Yeah, especially they do all look like book covers. That great artistry.
Yeah. Well, I would say it's great artistry if a person did it. If this is AI, well, I guess shout out to the computer or whatever.
It's sad that you have to say that.
Before we go, I do have a recommendation of another slasher movie that is also on Netflix and also pays homage to a lot of early 80s slasher movies, but most notably Prom Night. And I believe I put the trailer at the end here. Yep.
Hot dog, please.
Can you help me find my kitty? She ran into this house.
What the?
And it's stuck in there.
Anything
Just
for
wait
you,
for
Lisa.
it. You won't be able to get the references because you haven't seen Prom Night, but this right here is a reference to Prom Night. The very beginning, the opening of Prom Night. I should show you the opening of both of these. Because they're about it's the same as the opening of Prom Night.
Oh no, you killed a little kid. Hey, you shouldn't have been. I don't know.
Go ahead, he's also a little kid. He's just a little bit bigger than the other kids, but he's their age.
I'm gonna get you!
Blumhouse presents. Shout out to
boy.
Jason Blum.
Ladies and gentlemen,
4 years
meet
later.
Compton High's homecoming queen.
Is this a new movie coming out?
No, this came out in 2019.
Never.
I need to do a proper review of it so more people know about it because it was really cute.
He's back.
Horror movies should be cute.
I mean cute because it's kids, but it is a slasher movie.
He killed my sister because of us.
This is how you survive, yo.
Oh God, he's
Look who that is. Did you see who that was?
No,
You didn't see that?
I don't
Hold on,
know
let me-
who that was.
Oh shoot, I went back too far.
Right there, stop right
Try to
there.
pause it.
High's homecoming queen.
And his boys to men. I mean, boys in the hood moment.
Never think about that day.
Sometimes.
He's back.
What?
Chauncey Page.
Can't believe they just let him out like that. He killed my sister because of us.
This is how you survive.
That's the school principal.
Oh, okay, and that is who?
See, now I forgot his name. Hold on. I thought you would know it even before I know
Is
it.
he a rapper?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't. I'm so shocked you don't recognize him because it seemed like someone you would recognize. Hold on, let me pull up Gorilla. 2019.
It's not anybody. I literally I don't know. But you gotta use your mind, like what's his face said in and actually on Friday as well.
Oh, it's 2018. I'm sorry, I got the year wrong. It's 2018.
Yeah.
And that's RZA.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Minky Latte says, Tony man, you don't know RZA?
I can't tell that was RZA from this far.
Okay, pop quiz. Name the members of Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh my God. Geez. Are you really gonna make me try to do this? Like,
Yep.
I don't know. The RZA, the Jizza, Inspector Deck, Old Dirty Bastard, Raekwon the Chef, Ghostface Killer, and the Method Man. I might be. Wait.
I feel like you're missing one.
The RZA, the Jizza. I'm forgetting the Jizza.
No, you said the Jizza. I feel like there's
The
somebody
RZA,
else.
the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, you got Raekwon, you got
That's
Ghostface
probably
Killer,
one.
and the Method Man. And the METHOD man.
Okay, no. According to Google, it says that Capadonna and Master Killer are also members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
They're not on the album. They're not on the Return to the 36 Chambers. They might have been on Triumph, but on the W one, but they weren't on the 36 Chambers.
And I always felt like Redman was like an alternate, even though he's not like part of it. It's like he should be part of it, but he's not.
He's not. He's part of Death Squad with Keith Murray and Eric Sherman. But
okay, let's get back to
the rest of the jizz. Yes.
Every piece of me that malfunction through seduction is releasing me. I will never let anything happen to you.
And I like the main actress. She was really, really cute.
Chauncey killed him?
One of us is next. Let me get this straight. So Chauncey Page.
That guy looked old as hell. Was he supposed to be a teenager? Hold on. I didn't notice that before because he's not a main character.
Think Chauncey killed him?
One of us
Not next year. He looked old too, but not quite as old as this dude. What the fuck? That nigga is 35 years old. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Hey, my fellow students. That's what he looks like. Hey, my fellow students.
What is he doing? What? Maybe he's not that old. But he looks that old. I didn't notice it because, like I said, he's not a main character. He's just like,
just there.
One of the students.
Get this straight. So Chauncey Page comes home after serving 4 years in juvie, and the first thing he does is stalk you and your friends on homecoming weekend. You sound like one of those paranoid white girls.
Oh, you know who that is?
Yes. I know him from Forrest Gump, from Alien, Species 2, and from Final Destination 4.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name though.
Wasn't he in The Thing too?
No, not the original one. Are you talking about the John Carpenter thing?
Yeah. No. Okay. Never mind.
No. That
I just remember him from. I think he was in a Steven Seagal movie too.
No, the dude that was in John Carpenter's thing is the same dude from
How You Get to Frank Above the Beans, and Something About Mary. Keith David.
Was that him? Is that Keith David?
Yes.
I think you're right. When I was a child, I used to confuse Keith David with Ernie Hudson. I don't know why. They don't really look that much alike now that I'm an adult, but as a
Jesus
kid.
Christ.
You know what's another one? James Woods and Peter Weller. I used to think they were the same guy when I was a kid.
Wow.
But we all know that James Woods is a jerk face type dude, and Peter Weller is cool as hell. All right, let's finish this trailer and get out of here.
Now let's go get gangster.
Damn, Gina.
Yeah.
What if again with the dance? Maybe it is a thing on the West Coast. I don't know.
No, they had their friends. They do the soundtrack.
Yeah, it is low budget. It probably was an indie project before Blumhouse helped them get distribution or whatever Blumhouse did. But it's pretty much prom night, and I enjoyed it. It's not the best. Like the kills are not anything to write home about.
Yeah,
but it was fun to see a movie that was based around homecoming. It was actually based around a homecoming dance.
Was it as good as Axum?
I think Axum might have been better.
Oh God!
And I need to review. I'm so behind on reviews. It's crazy. Like I have notes and notes and notes on these movies, and I haven't gotten a chance to record them. But yeah, I got to get back into my review bag. But I am definitely recommending Thriller if you also like the Fear Street series. It's not as gory as the Fear Street series. Like you saw, one of the kills there, somebody got their stomach cut open. But I don't remember if their intestines fell out. And there's levels. There's getting cut, and then there's getting cut open. And I don't recall
getting cut and being eviscerated.
Yes. But I think that's all.
So,
Mm-hmm.
in closing,
Mm-hmm.
what would you rate your Fear Streets?
Oh, how about we rank them from best to worst?
Okay.
I would say,
Are we doing like? Are we going like deep, like storyline, or just kill wise?
let's do based on kills. Based on kills, I'm gonna say 1, 4, 3, and then 2.
Yeah. I'd have to take 4 and 1, change them around.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just recency bias because I just watched the prom night one.
No, I think
But
I think the kills in 4 were probably the only reason why I'm taking points off
Prom
for
Queen.
4 is I felt like they used some CGI blood, and I don't like that. I like
Yeah.
all practical. Whereas in 1, it looked all practical to me.
Did it?
I think there was a bit of CGI, but it wasn't as blatant. It wasn't as noticeable. Like don't make me notice it. I don't want to notice it.
The one CGI that I totally noticed was the one where somebody got beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
And you could literally see like the green screen as like when the body fell,
Mm-hmm.
the way his body jerked, I was like, oh, he fell, but you could still tell his head was attached, but it was digitally altered out, and with the blood shooting, I noticed that one. Yeah. I think it was right when he went into the prom and he swung the axe and hit the first person.
Mm-hmm.
Because his head came off, and I was like, "Yep, CGI."
Yep.
But so me, I did take 4, 1. No, I'm sorry, 4, 3, 1. Oh no, we're talking kill wise. 4, 1, 3, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All right,
and
that's the end of our. I think we talked almost for 2 hours. 2 hours about Fear Street movies. That's
great. That's awesome. I love it, and that's good. Anyways, smash that like, subscribe button, y'all. Leave a comment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and thank you to the chat. You guys are always giving me my best comments.
Yes, Bo.
Oh, I forgot to. There's a couple comments that I did not read. Let me get those caught up. Fomiki Latte says that particular YouTube creator has been washed for some years now. Probably the one that made the clickbait title. She also says, "Dang, he went to jail over an accent." Yeah, in the trailer for Thriller. I think the thing that is a negative for Thriller is its title. It should have been called Homecoming
Killer
or Homecoming Killer, unless
How about
it's
just
already
Killer?
taken.
Why don't we just have a movie called Killer? Just Killer. And
Just
you
Killer
know what you're gonna
without
get.
the yeah, something like that. Because Thriller, when you try to look it up, the Michael Jackson album comes up first.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, well, you got to go make your dinner, right?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hungry too. But yeah, so goodbye, everyone. See you next week.
And have a good 3-day weekend. Those of you that have a 3-day weekend, try to rest
Oh
up.
yes, 3-day weekend. Enjoy.
We will be back next week. Hopefully talking
On
about some
Thursday.
Karate Kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Cobra Kai.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, goodbye, everyone.
That's Psy. It gets better. You gotta trust me. The season's gonna get better.
Oh,
I already
and
watched
please, like I said before, like, subscribe, comment, leave a comment, please. Those are awesome. I like reading the comments. Makes me feel special.
I agree. All right. We're out.
Goodbye.
Bye.